I'm Andrew Fenton from Mickey.com.au. I've got Allie Eve Knox on the line. She's an adult performer and cam model and the head of outreach for adult crypto site Spankchain. It's both a cam site and a payment processor. How are things, Allie?
Doing well, thank you.
Awesome. So tell us, how and why did you start camming?
I started when I graduated from grad school and I was super broke. I had a bunch of student loans and I had posts for Playboy a few years before that, and they had a cam site at the time. So started camming and made really good money and loved it.
You're known for doing some very interesting sort of fetish videos like clown face makeup and things like that. How did that get started? And is that like your most popular avenue?
For sure. I make most of my money on clips. I do weird stuff, mean stuff, fun stuff, just like off the wall kind of stuff. I really wanted to niche myself. I realized when I started camming, the very first time I realized that there was a whole lot of money in a niche kind of fetish world. Somebody came in and said, I'll pay you $300 to lick your armpit. And I was like, fine, fuck it, whatever. So I licked my armpit, and I remember like it was one of those moments where I was like, this is weird. Like, I can't imagine that somebody would pay so much money. And so we started talking, and he said that no hot chicks would ever do it. They just thought it was weird and nobody would ever indulge him in his fantasy. And so he had to pay a lot of money for it. And I was like, oh, okay, I could do this.
That's an interesting one. So obviously it's a decent way to make money, but cam sites take a lot of a big cut, don't they?
They do, at least half.
At least half. So
Yeah.
how did you get into accepting Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies?
I was taking payments for Skypes through like Cash App and PayPal and Google Pay and all of the like side things because I didn't want to give half of my money to the campsites when I was doing Skypes or selling panties or anything like that. And I was getting all my stuff shut down because it's against the terms of service. You can't do anything like that. And so I was like, to hell with this. And so one of my regulars in my campsite came in and said, why don't you take some Bitcoin? And I had heard about it a few years prior to that and was like, all right, let's try it. So I set up a Coinbase account. I put the QR code up to the camera and he would scan it on his side and he could send me Bitcoin directly. And there was no chargeback. So I couldn't do a Skype and then he could call and get his money back. And that's happens a lot. So it was pretty wonderful.
Is chargebacks a big problem in the industry?
For sure. We're labeled high risk, and it's actually why part of the reason why the fees are so high is because the credit card processors take like an additional 10% because there's a lot of chargebacks.
Mm-hmm. And you're at constant threat of them shutting down your accounts as well.
All the time. I mean, even my Coinbase got shut down.
Really?
Yeah, I was against terms.
So this was back in 2014, so you must have amassed a decent amount of Bitcoin.
I did. I sold and built my dream house in 2017 in the winter that year, and it was when crypto was doing really well. So that was wonderful. And then all hell broke loose after that.
So you sold out at the right time.
Yeah, I did. Luckily.
So tell us how you hooked up with Spankchain and what Spankchain's all about.
Sure. I got in a fight on Twitter with someone. They were saying that they didn't have enough women on their team. And one of their advisors said if they don't have half women on their team, they're going to quit by a year. And I was like, you need to have the people that have done this thing tell you how to build these things. Like, you can't just come into here and know nothing about this. And one of the co-founders wrote me immediately and was like, you know what? You're right. We want you. So the next day I wrote them what I thought my job description should be, and they hired me.
Wow. So what is Spankchain? I mean, what do they do differently to other cam sites?
We have a whole bunch of stuff. Our first product is Spank.live, and it's our cam site. So we only take a 5% fee. So performers are now getting 95% as opposed to half. They can also sell a bunch of content that's banned on credit card processing sites like blood and pee and all the things that people can't sell places, they can sell there. So that's really wonderful. And we also have a few other products coming out, like we have a clip site coming out, so people will be able to sell their clips on that. And then we also have a wallet that we're debuting, I think, next month, and it'll go on other people's sites. So if you want to buy porn on other people's sites, they'll partner with us and you can go and pay that way.
Mm-hmm. So what are some of the challenges of getting a crypto-based cam site off the ground? I mean, is it hard to get what do you call them, fans to learn how to buy crypto for the first time?
Yeah, that's probably the number one thing is it's really hard to buy crypto immediately. So if you have to, you have to KYC, you have to buy some crypto, you have to move it over, you have to wait a few days. It's a whole thing. So it's kind of hard when somebody wants on demand to see, you know what I mean, on a campsite. So that's been our hardest. Also, the market tanked. And so people aren't really ready to get rid of their crypto. They're kind of hanging on to it, hoping that it's go back up. So that's been kind of a bummer.
The Spankchain had to downsize a little bit. Is the site going all right?
We did. We downsized. I guess it was in November. We actually got rid of our partnerships with some contractors. So it was some people that weren't necessary to the project any longer. And we downsized to just a team that was going to just build the products. So all the ancillary stuff that we had, like the event planning and all that kind of stuff, that's what went. We're doing very well. I think we have about 2 years worth of runway, and we'll do some funding soon, and we'll announce some partnerships. So we're putting out products, which is really pretty exciting.
So how many models and how many subscribers or audience do you have?
Right now we have 700 performers. We're only in the US and we're in beta, so we're still testing out everything. So we're really slow. We'll roll out international by the summer, so we'll get a lot more then. I'm not sure how many users we've got, but I think we've processed about $100,000 in crypto since we've been in beta since last April.
I was speaking to one of the people from Intimate.io, who's a similar sort of organization, and they were saying that it's not, I mean, because some campsites you already tipped in tokens, it wasn't such a leap to sort of move to crypto. Totally. Yeah. So are crypto perverts different to other perverts?
It's kind of funny because I think we had a show on New Year's Eve, and the performer was trying to do a cum show, and everybody was just talking math in her chat room. So they were asking her about math questions because she had a math degree, and it was kind of like, you would never see this anywhere else.
Is that, I mean, are you trying to broaden out from just the crypto people?
For sure. We have people that are coming on and just, experimenting and trying things, or they saw crypto titties and they were entertained by the idea. So they're like, we'll just sign up and stream. Because, I mean, would you waste an hour of your time while you were streaming while cooking dinner? I mean, it's kind of branched. So there's not just adult stuff going on. There's also just cool hangouts.
So, look, I understand why you might use, say, Bitcoin or Ethereum, for one of these sites. What's the advantage of using? I think it's the Booty token, is it?
Sure. So, Booty is minted by Spank. So, if you hold Spank in our Spank Bank, you lock it up, it will mint Booty tokens. So, it's just like it's kind of similar to a membership site on or rewards points on another campsite. If you buy a certain number of tokens, it'll give you these little reward points where you can spend those kind of things.
Now, porn was, what was that?
And it's stable. So instead of, whenever you go in and you're tipped $1, you're going to get $1 back out. So it's not, the price isn't going to fluctuate. So that's pretty cool too.
Oh, it's a stable coin.
Yeah.
One of the things they always used to say about porn was that it helped VHS win the format wars, and it helped the internet take off. Do you think it'll sort of provide a path to mainstream acceptance for crypto as well? I
think so. I mean, in addition to porn is always at the forefront of technology, we're pretty marginalized. Like I was saying, we get our shit shut down. There's problems that we actually face, so we really need this kind of stuff. We need this to work.
Well, good luck. That's Allie Eve Knox from Spankchain. Thank you.
Thank you.